Hello everyone, today we are going to be learning about measurement. You already know how to compare items using the words longer and shorter. For example, I know that my pointer is longer than my marker and my marker is shorter than my pointer. Today we are going to measure items using non-standard units of measure to see how long or how short an item is. You can use non-standard units of measure from anywhere in your house. So you can use toothpicks to measure, you can use paper clips to measure, you can use Legos to measure, and if you happen to have connecting cubes, you can use those. I'm going to use those a little bit in the video, but you don't need to worry if you don't have this at home. Just find something else to substitute, alright? So today I've got this bag of goodies and we're going to measure some of the things in my bag. We're going to start with, oops, there goes a Lego. We're going to start with my book here. So I'm going to start by using Legos to measure my book. When you measure, it's important to measure from one end to the other end. Now I can look at this and say, oh, I used 4 Legos to measure my book. But there's a problem here. I started on one end here, but I didn't go all the way to this end, and I left all of this space between my Legos. When you measure, you want to go from one end all the way to the other end, and you can't have space in between the items, otherwise you're not going to get an accurate measurement. So let's see, I'm going to need a few more Legos here. Alrighty, so let's see. Now, with my book, my Legos don't measure my book perfectly, and that's okay. Sometimes that's going to happen when you're using non-standard units of measure. So I'm just going to count my Legos. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I'm going to estimate a little bit more. So my book is about 7 Legos long. I can also use paper clips to measure my book. So I'm going to start on one end, and I'm going to line my paper clips up, making sure there's no space in between the paper clips. Now I can look and I'm going to count how many paper clips. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 paper clips. But I'm seeing another problem here. I used paper clips that were 2 different sizes. So I have some paper clips that are tall and some paper clips that are short. I can use tall paper clips to measure and I can use short paper clips to measure, but I can't use them both at the same time. Otherwise, I'm not getting an accurate measurement. So I'm going to get rid of my small paper clips and I'm just going to use the tall paper clips. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So my book is 5 paper clips long. Alrighty, what else do I have in my little bag of goodies here? I can measure my crayon box. These are all things that you can just find around your house to measure. So if I use paper clips to measure how long my crayon box is, I'm going to use 1, 2, maybe I should use my smaller ones for this one. 1, okay, 2, 3. My crayon box is about 3 small paper clips long. I can also use Legos to measure my crayon box. 1, 2, 3. So my crayon box looks like it's 3 and a little bit more with the Legos. And now I'm going to use the connecting cubes. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. My crayon box is 6 connecting cubes long. As you can see, I measured from one end all the way to the other end. There's no space in between my connecting cubes, and they are all the same size. So that's why they're such a good tool to use when measuring. Let's do one more set. We're going to compare the length of a fish and a frog. When I look at my fish and my frog, they look like they're about the same length, don't they? So let's find out if they really are. We're going to use connecting cubes one more time, and we're going to see if the frog and the fish really are the same length. Let's start with the fish. I'm going to start on one end of the fish, and I'm going to measure all the way to the other end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It looks like my fish is 6 cubes long. Now I'm going to measure my frog. Just like the fish, I'm going to start on one end and I'm going to go all the way to the other end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So let's count these one more time. My fish was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cubes long. My frog here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cubes long. So I now realize that my frog is actually just a little bit longer than my fish, and my fish is just a little bit shorter than my frog, and I know that because my fish is 6 cubes long and my frog is 7, and 6 is smaller than 7. So boys and girls, this is something that you can definitely do at home with things that you have at home. You can measure your favorite books, you can measure your favorite stuffed animal, you can measure a chair, and you can use all sorts of things at your house. You just have to remember a few little rules. Rule number 1, when you're measuring, you need to make sure you're using standard units of measure. So if you use Legos, the Legos you use have to all be the same size. You can't use one small Lego and another big Lego to measure. You have to make sure they're the same size Lego. When you measure, you have to measure from one end all the way to the other end. And you have to make sure you don't leave any gaps or spaces in between when you are measuring. That way, you get an accurate measurement. So thank you everybody for listening. I hope you have a good day. Bye.